Welcome to 2018 everyone. It's good to have all of you back for a video that should have gone up last year, but a promise is a promise. So here is my personal top 10 figures of 2017. Before we get started, all figures on this list are figures that were released in 2017, which are a part of my personal collection, and unfortunately not all the figures were actually reviewed on this channel. But again, this is a personal list, and a lot of the factors that went into deciding why each figure deserved to be on this list are mainly personal, but I did choose figures that I thought scored top marks in the usual sculpt, paint, articulation, accessories, and of course, the overall fun factor. So without further ado, because I'm already 1 year late, here are my top 10 figures for 2017. Here we go. Okay, so my number 10. I know I'm starting this list off with what is technically a model kit, but the way I see it, I pose it like I would any of my other action figures, I display it like I would any of my other action figures, so in my mind, it makes the cut. Now Goku isn't anything new that we haven't seen before. The body has been used with both the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so why fix a good thing when it ain't broke? The Goku body is a fantastic mold with great articulation, and colors used are good enough even without paint application. But the reason I'm giving Goku my 10th spot is that killer head sculpt, spot on with all interchangeable faces and just how I remember Goku in the anime. Now I never got to review this figure on my channel, but he has made an appearance in my SH Figure Arts Mafex SpiderMan comparison video. Coming from an excellent wave of Marvel Legend figures, one of my favorite waves in years, it was tough to decide which figure I liked the most. The Vulture figure on its own was already quite impressive, with a nicely sculpted fur aviator jacket, the clear visor with a slight smoky tinge to it, and those piercing green eyes staring straight through. To top it off, though having an unfair advantage over his wave mates, sported the Build-A-Figure, or in this case, build an accessory Vulture wings, and boy does it make a fantastic display piece, which is why the Vulture gets my number 9 spot. 2017 was the year of the fighting game figure. Storm Collectibles had their Street Fighter V and Mortal Kombat line, with Tekken series due to release early this year. Figma released 2 characters from the King of Fighters series, and Figure Arts followed suit and graced us with their rendition of figures from the popular Street Fighter V game. Rarely do we see a female figure that incorporates a beautiful sculpt and fantastic articulation. Well, SH Figure Arts Chun-Li is one of those rare cases. Yes, many may argue that she derails from the source material, which SHF has clearly labeled on their packaging, but one cannot deny that she makes an excellent generic iteration of the character. What sets her aside from her other line mates is her consistency in all fields: paint, sculpt, posability, and accessories. The whole package. Who doesn't want a 6-inch Wolverine figure with big shiny claws, exaggerated comic style proportions, and articulation that puts even the 2016 Marvel Legends Wolverine to shame? No, I'm just kidding guys, I love the 2016 Marvel Legends Wolverine. Well, if you hate Revoltech, then this definitely doesn't apply to you. However, if you've made your peace with the Revoltech unconventional joints, or like me, who already has a couple of Revoltech pieces in their collection, then this one is a no-brainer. Come on guys, it's Wolverine. Now where would any top 10 list be without Deadpool?
Time to find out.
Again, this is one figure I didn't get the chance to review, but I had to have on the list. For me personally, I just had a ton of fun posing him on its own with other figures. Sure, he is more cartoonish, falls a little short when you compare him with other Marvel Legends figures, but damn, this set is a bucket load of fun with all those accessories, and the figure being so expressive, it was one of those figures I kept picking up time and time again. Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z is probably the meat and potatoes of this channel, and the figures I probably look forward to the most. That being said, it was pretty tough going through all the new releases this year, and picking one to be on my list was pretty tough. Now Cell Saga Gohan is probably my favorite version of Gohan, so that may have been one of the deciding factors for me choosing this figure. Even still, you can't deny the fantastic sculpt going on in the battle damage gi, the much needed updates in the articulation and the head sculpt, just the overall improved proportions over the original. The lack of accessories does bump it down a few spots, but overall one of my favorite figures of the line. So I know what you're all thinking. What are all these figures you've never reviewed? Again, because of whatever reason, be it time or I was reviewing something else that came out the same time as this figure did and just never got around to it, Takara Tomy Masterpiece Beast Wars Cheetor takes my number 4 spot for reasons why I love the Masterpiece line, which is the only line of Transformers I am still collecting. So what do I look for in the Masterpiece? Well, is the transformation intuitive and fun? Yep. Does both modes look like the source material? Yep. Bonus points for awesome accessories? Yep. Masterpiece Cheetor, number 4. Okay, so I promise you that this will be the last figure that I didn't review, but I will have a full review up for you guys this month, so look out for that one as well. What can I say, guys? Storm Collectibles has got to be on this list. You can pick any of their figures released this year and it would have easily been on my list, but I wanted to make it fair and give the other lines a chance too, so I only chose one figure from the Street Fighter V line. There were some heavy contenders and I was really conflicted not to have M. Bison on this list, but Goku or Akuma just edges out Bison ever so slightly, like a grain of rice slightly. This figure is just so faithful to the game. If you want a Street Fighter V Akuma figure that is beautifully crafted with great attention to detail and surprisingly well articulation, then look no further. Okay guys, I have been a Spider-Man fan for as long as I can remember. Growing up as a kid, it was Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, then it became Z, but it was Goku, G1 Optimus, and Spider-Man. You give me any one of those 3 in some shape or form and you got me. I loved the movie, I loved the new suit, so I needed a figure of it. Marvel Legends was a great figure, but I was waiting for the imports for more articulation. Figure Arts was alright, don't get me wrong, that still is a pretty good figure too, but Mayfix, even with the loose elbows and the useless magnets, this will be my MCU Spider-Man standing proud on my Spider-Man shelf. Spot on proportions, fun accessories for the most part, and the articulation smooth like butter. 4-point Spidey crouch. Alright, here it is guys. Yes, I know I said I wouldn't double up on lines, but I feel with Cheetor, since he is a Beast Wars figure, Beast Wars line, and not G1, you guys can kind of let it slide. But for my number 1 best figure of 2017 is the one and only MP36 Masterpiece Megatron. I can't tell you guys enough how much I love this figure. Yes, he isn't everyone's image of Megatron. I also get the complaints about the messy back, skinny legs, high waist, but for me personally, this is my definitive G1 Megatron come to life in superposable plastic and die-cast glory. And there we have it guys, my top 10 figures for 2017. Again, I want to apologize for the lateness, but I just feel that I can't move on to 2018 properly without rounding up last year with a top 10 list. Well, the first top 10 list for this channel actually. But if you want to see full reviews of most of the figures in this list, I'll have the links in the description below. I also want to take this chance to formally thank all of you for all of your support, all of your comments, all of your feedback, and all of your time. Because you guys can be doing anything with your free time, but for the 5, 10, 15 minutes you spend watching my videos, it's just the most humbling thing. And I just want to say that I truly appreciate all of you. Also, I never got to say this officially, but we did manage to reach just over 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I think we're almost at 1,300 right now, which for me is phenomenal. And doing this, sharing my love for action figures, my passion with all of you has always been just that, sharing my hobby with people who share the same inner urge for collecting awesome figures as well. And I'm just so happy to have this opportunity to share this with more than 1,000 of you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So future goals for this channel. Well, there are a few things that I would like to try in 2018. A new series in this channel, which is pretty exciting, which I know a lot of you have been requesting and probably are really excited about as well. And it's an ASMR review series where I review figures in a really soothing voice to help viewers fall asleep. That's right, 360 degrees rotation around and around and around. Yeah, I'm just messing around. I just got a lot of comments throughout some of my videos about my voice putting people to sleep, or they were confused as to whether this was a toy review channel or one of those ASMR channels. Anyway, all jokes aside, I would like to start covering events in this channel. I know Tokyo Toy Show, Wonderfest, Tokyo Comic Con, just to name a few. I feel so lucky to be here, to be living here in Japan, and would really like to share with all of you, not just the toys, but everything that encompasses them as well. This channel has never been about the numbers, but I also believe it's important to set goals as well. So if we're talking about targets, then let's double our subs by this April, and let's try to double that before the end of this year. So more toys and more people to share them with. So lastly, on behalf of all the cast and the crew at 86 Reviews, I just want to say thank you always for watching. You guys are awesome. And yes, I'll see you for the next one.